Well, hello. I am live. It is a couple minutes before 5 o'clock, so I'm going to give some folks some time to jump on. I know a lot of you are working and getting people ready for bed back east or whatever you're doing in your lives, and these will always be available as part of Reboot TV in the group. Always, you'll be able to see that when it's there. So, still have 1 minute. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sheila Kilty, and I'm CEO of Optimal Health Reboot and the Mind Body Reboot Method. And we bring these Tuesday talks to you every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And they're on different topics. So, 1 week it'll be about why meat is important or how to be a vegan or a vegetarian and still get the kind of omega-3 fats that you need, or any other topic. One was about calories. This one happens to be about affirmations. So, welcome to Reboot TV, to our Tuesday talks for today, which is May 11th, believe it or not. I'm still blown away how quickly time passes. And this week, our talk is going to be about affirmations and why they are, what they actually do for us, what they're about, and why affirmations are a vital part of the mind body reboot method and part of the essential way of developing a wellness mindset that you want to have. What you eat when you're on any food program. I could send you, or you could go to Vogue magazine. There'll be a list of all the foods that you have to eat. That only gets you about 80% there. The other 20% are all the lifestyle and a wellness mindset. All those parts to get stress under control, get better sleep. All those parts are vital to lifelong success. And all the years of just following the bouncing ball of what cottage cheese to eat at what time in the 1970s, or what cabbage soup bowl number 18 to have at 3 o'clock, only got you so far. And it's really all of the lifestyle and developing a wellness mindset that really is a big part of it. And one of the things that I do, and I have found it's part of my regular practice, and something I've really grown to be part of fabric of who I am and how I approach wellness for myself, is the use of affirmations. And I know that affirmations got a bad rap, as a kind of this hippy dippy do thing to do. It's like, I am one with the universe, kind of la 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 kind of thing. It's not that at all. And what I'm going to be talking about today are, what are affirmations? What do they actually do for you? And we're also going to be writing some of our own affirmations. So if you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil or pen. If you're watching this on replay, you can pause it and go grab a piece of paper and a pen. Or crayon or lipstick or whatever it is used to write on a piece of paper. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to break down how easy it is to write your own personal affirmations that mean something for you. In the comments after, when the replay's on, I'm going to go ahead and put underneath there some links to some sites where you can build some affirmations, or just lists of thousands of affirmations that you can choose from. And a big part of the mind body reboot method, the clients there also have a daily inspiration that comes to them via text every morning, with affirmations that I've either handcrafted or procured and put together and chosen, selected specifically for our group, that are about empowering women and their health, and helping them develop a better wellness mindset. So it is something that I find very, very valuable to use. So let's get into it. It looks like we have some folks on. This is wonderful. If you have any comments, let me know. Just say hi or let me know you're here. Would be great. And oh, by the way, any comments that you leave on the replay. So after this is done and it's up on replay and you can play it, go ahead and leave comments. I will be answering every single comment that you leave on the replay like you were here live. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you want any help building any affirmations, or want to talk to me more about the other parts of the mind body reboot method and how these wellness mindset parts work into the program, I'd be happy to take that time and answer any questions I can for you. So let's get going. So, the laws that govern a primal lifestyle are called the primal laws, and a full 1/3 of them are all about mental wellness and emotional self-soothing and stress reduction and cortisol control. Cortisol is the stress hormone, as we all know, that kicks in with adrenaline when, and a host of all other kinds of hormones when we're under stress or have anxiety. And there's a lot of that going on between the pandemic going on and what's going on in the economy and in the world and just everywhere. There's a lot of stress going on right now. So we can use every tool that we can. And I know you guys have heard me say this joke before, who've ever heard me talk, but I'm trying to help you build a great toolbox, a great set of tools. So when you open your toolbox and you want to get going developing this better wellness mindset, that you can look in your toolbox and you lift up the lid and there's not a flip flop and a band-aid and some silly putty. I want you to have some really great tools that you can pull out of there and use. And we're going to be talking about one of them today, which is affirmations. So, essential part of empowering your mind is an essential part of being able to lose weight. And the resultant, hormone storm that you have from stress responses and it having a lifelong success rate of learning to calm those is essential. So in the wellness mindset, what we try to do is overwrite all the old tapes of self-criticism and doubt and replace it with a mindset of abundance and self-compassion and acceptance. We don't have a lot of that in our world today. Nearly everyone I talk to has some really negative tapes about themselves that are playing, and we need to rewrite those tapes. We have to have compassion not only for other and empathy not only for other people in the world, but we need to have self-compassion, self-love, and it's vital to giving yourself the gift of wellness in all forms, whether it be metabolic health, weight health, heart health, inflammatory health, immune system health. We have to have the right mindset to approach that. So there's a wide range of techniques that you can use that allow you to have, the tools in your toolbox that you need. Affirmations absolutely is at the top of my list, but there's also breathing exercises, mindfulness, meditation, yoga. There's all these different practices. Like I said, talking about self-compassion and self-love, and then learning to halt all that self-talk and that self-criticism. And there are exercises specifically to build self-esteem. And affirmation can help with all of those kind of things. Journaling is also a big part of it. If you don't have a journal, I recommend getting one and keeping track of your thoughts and encouraging yourself and writing down inspirational things and writing down affirmations. We're going to be learning at the end of this video how to write your own affirmations, and there's a formula for putting that together that's just brilliant. So stick around to the end so you can see that. So there's a real science behind affirmations. And it's been a long history, a long footprint in the medical practice of mental health. There was a US psychologist who coined the phrase self-affirmation therapy and started the affirmation movement. His name is Claude Steele. He's a US psychologist, I think out of Stanford, if I'm not mistaken. He's still around. And he stated that anyone is motivated to uphold some view of themselves, be it moral, competent, strong, and or capable human beings. This self-affirmation enables us to essentially maintain our drive to be happy, healthy, and better people. When external circumstances arise that challenge this view, we fall into that what Steele calls the psychological discomfort. So those are brilliant words. That was radical thinking when he came up with this. I think it was in the 60s or early 70s. And today, depression, anxiety, and other mental disorders, mental health disorders, are very much on the rise for obvious reasons. And there's a real imbalance on how we self-affirm who we are, and affirmations seek to find a balance, affirming who we are. So Steele's self-affirmation theory is not about creating a sense of perfection of who we are. It's about nurturing the things that we're passionate about, the things that drive us, and where we find value and in ourselves, and exercising a sense of flexibility and deeper understanding of who we are in those areas and drawing those towards us. And there's a lot of benefits to using affirmations. Words carry immense power, and affirmations are being used in a lot of clinical environments. I had a number of my spinal surgeries in Los Angeles and at either Cedars-Sinai or UCLA. And I would always go to the UCLA rehab that they had there, whether I was coming from Cedars or UCLA or wherever. And you go to a rehab there for a couple of weeks, and they give you all the PT and every physical therapy and everything that you need. And one of the greatest things they ever did, it was a huge gift, is someone comes in as part of all your therapists who works with you specifically on developing mindfulness techniques and affirmations, and taught me how to write affirmations, what they are, taught me about it, because the kind of extreme pain that you're under and just the chronic pain that you're under when you have spinal surgeries at the levels I was having them is huge. And it takes a lot of mental strength, really, to be able to overcome the trauma and the PTSD of that kind of pain situation. And it all starts in the mind, how you perceive pain, because pain is something that is connected to your brain, um, not as a real thing. It is a perception of something going on in your nerves. Your nerves set off like a fire alarm, and it tells your brain, oh, you're in pain, and it causes you to have a reaction. Raises your cortisol, starts your fight or flight, all of those kind of things. And what they have found in these rehab programs is using affirmations is a great way to calm the mind, to be present with what's happening right there, not get anxious about what might happen with the pain, to accept the pain and imagine it moving on. And it is incredibly helpful, more so than any opiate they could put in your body. So I really love, with the opiate problems we have in this country and around the world, I'm really appreciative of anything that can work with us on pain besides opiates, anything that can work with us with mental pain and mental anxiety, with body imaging. You know, I work with my clients on how they feel about their bodies, about having the kind of self-love that would be necessary to be part of a program that helps you be more healthy and have wellness in your life, and to give yourself that time and that energy to do that. And it's hard, especially as women. We're not taught to carve out that time for ourselves. We're told that's selfish, you know, to think about other people. I have one client that even went to the grocery store to buy groceries for her daughter and never bought any groceries for herself, and got home and said, oh, what am I having for dinner? We are so geared towards helping other people in this culture, you know, women just in general on the planet, that we forget how to take care of ourselves. And that is essential for our lifelong health and wellness. So you have to put yourself first. You have to take care of yourself. And affirmations are something that should be a cornerstone of how you talk to yourself. It is free. It is drug free. It is something you can do anywhere under any circumstances. So I'd really like for you to, when you get done with this video, try some of it out. Just give it a try for a while. Do it for a while. See if it has any impact in changing some of that self-talk that you have going on that says you're not worth the effort, or you will always be fat and ugly, or I told you you would fail, or you don't deserve to have this, or you will never have that. And we have to change that thinking, because if we don't change that thinking, everybody around us isn't going to change the thinking either. How we act towards ourselves is a guide for everyone else in our lives for how they should act towards us as well. Think about it. No one can walk all over you unless you give them permission to do so and tell them you're a doormat. So affirmations, start with affirmations. They're simple, they're easy, and they're extremely powerful. There's a lot of benefits. So They do require practice. You need to set aside some time for some consistency. You need to be able to make it part of your daily routine. Some people like it to be an everyday ritual. Like for me, it's when I'm getting up in the morning or before you go to bed so that you can have a nice calm sleep to get some positive thinking into your mind as you sleep. Some it could be part of a daily meditative practice or while you're out for a walk or doing exercise. It just can be added into whatever you do on a daily basis. I have one client that does it while she brushes her teeth because she knows that twice a day at least she's going to brush her teeth. So she goes through her affirmations when she's brushing her teeth. That works as long as you make it part of what you do. So others do it on an as needed basis. They have a kind of a need for a pick me up. So when something arises, if you're challenged in a workout routine and it's really tough, or you're having some pain, or something's going on, or some horrible thing just happened with a spouse or a family member or a friend who said something nasty to you that really resonated with you and you're feeling wounded, that is a great time to take a moment, center yourself, and not allowing people to do that to you with your permission to kind of step back and say, okay, I am valuable. I do deserve to have nice things in my life. I deserve health and wellness, and I am going to create this for myself. So, sound pretty powerful? It can be. So, the health benefits of affirmations, they vary widely. They reduce health-related stress by changing your mental mindset. They can introduce powerful and positive statements to the way we think, and it creates a ripple effect through your entire body. In turn, the physical body can only prosper and thrive from this kind of feeding it positive things. Think of the body as one big seamless machine, okay? And it will operate most efficiently if all the parts, the mind and the body, work together. So there's two ways you can see that connection. One is, for instance, if you have a headache or a neck ache, that's due to some kind of stress or trauma. So you have some kind of thing happening to you, and you get a headache from the noise that's happening, or from having to yell at the kids for the hundredth time to eat their vegetables, or whatever it is. You have something that is a trauma, something happens to you, and you have a mental stress from something like that going on. And the other way around, you can also, if you're having the mental stress, if something is stressing you out emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, you can then turn around and have your body create PTSD, or, so it can happen both ways. Either you're having PTSD and pain, something's happening to you, and you have some kind of mental stress from it, or you're having mental stress and it's causing some kind of something. So in that way, your mind and your body are very, 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 very connected. They're not two separate things that need to be treated separately. So what do affirmations do? Well, they interrupt that cycle and they set it on a good path to where those two parts are talking to each other. They also motivate. They influence you. They change the way you think about yourself. It changes that tape right away and helps you focus on your goals and refocus into something that you really would like to achieve rather than all this pain or all this stress. Because when you're in that fight or flight moment where you're dealing with those immediate things, you're not thinking about bigger goals or bigger picture things. And it helps give you positive thoughts and help you feel that you're in a positive space and you're moving in the right direction. So there are different ways that you can use health affirmations for your physical and mental health. Um, they're best served, they're best serving you anyway when you say them out loud. They work best that way in the present tense and with positivity. So you never say something like you would not come out of an affirmation would not be something negative like I deserve to be um, to not have crushing debt, right? Now, the I deserve is great, and in your life, that you don't have this thing, but rather than saying you don't have crushing debt, that you deserve financial freedom, or I have financial freedom. So you state your goal in the present tense. Does that make sense? So some people, before they meditate, well, they use it to anchor their thoughts. So they say it quietly to themselves. Other people, when they're working out, they can say them to themselves. But the most empowering way, as I said, is out loud. And the best way to work with an affirmation and really make it part of who you are is to look at yourself in the mirror, look at your reflection. And you've seen this in yourself. You may have done it yourself or seen it on a movie or a TV show when they go to the mirror and they say, "You can do this. You're going to go kill that, client. You're going to come back with that. You're going to have that in your hand, right? You can do this. You can do this." It's that same kind of self-talk. And I laughed hysterically the first time I did an affirmation to myself. I felt like that Saturday Night Live sketch where the guy says, "And darn it, people just love me." And, I felt kind of silly doing it. I know that's a terrible imitation of Al Franken. Apologies to Al Franken. But I doubt he's watching this, but if he is, apologies, Al. Um, but if you do that in the mirror, there's something about confronting your gaze and having to speak to yourself that's very, very potent. And the affirmation is only intensified at that moment. So the key to any way that you deliver the affirmation to yourself is imagine that you're sending yourself those words and that the energy from them is cleansing, healing, and supporting you. And if you're starting your practice for the very first time, it might feel awkward or forced or inauthentic, but keep going, keep saying them anyway. And you know what? There are millions of affirmations, and everyone means something different to each person who says them. So even if you find one that sounds like everybody says that, it's going to mean something different to you because how it's being presented to you in your life with your challenges is different than the guy down the street who might do it. It'll be different with a well person or a person with chronic illnesses might hear something about health differently. Someone about parenting will feel different if you're a parent. Something about parenting yourself will feel different. If you've never had good parenting, this is one way you can help your children learn how to have a good sense of self-esteem is through practicing affirmations and positive thinking. It goes a very long way to build self-esteem in someone, and it is never too late to build self-esteem for yourself. I am 58. I'm 59 next month, and I'm learning every day how to build self-esteem that for some reason I didn't get. I can't figure out why, but I didn't get that. And I am working on developing that. And this is, I'm telling you, is something that works very, very well. So how to start? All right. So pick a dedicated time a day. Best way to start any routine. Pick a time a day. Pick a place that you're going to do it, whether it's in the mirror, on the side of your bed in the morning when you're checking your texts, go to a affirmation that like my clients get their daily inspiration, they can read it. And whether it's something that works for you or not, doesn't matter. You're going to find one that really works for you. And every week I ask my clients, so which one of those spoke to you? And you know what? Pretty much everybody can remember the one that spoke to them. When it really speaks to you, it really speaks to you. It gets to your soul. And so that means something to me. And that means something to you because you're you with your life experiences. And just in that moment that you've dedicated, you do it by repeating your affirmations to yourself a couple times, not just once and kind of let it drop, but really say them and really think about the words and what it means to you. Then if there's one that really works for you, write it down. Keep it on hand and have it ready to say back to yourself, to read back to yourself whenever you need that. If you have a big something happening in that day, for instance, you're having a meeting with your boss, you're having a job interview, you're meeting with some new clients on some enrollment calls or whatever it is, then you can take that out before you get on the phone with that person or before you get on the Zoom call or now, yay, starting to meet people in person again, or you're going on a date. Maybe you're going on a blind date. You can take that affirmation out and tell yourself, I am interesting and beautiful, and this guy is going to think I'm wonderful. This guy already thinks I'm wonderful. I am interesting and I'm worth knowing. That would be such an important state of mind to come to it to, because remember, We are informing other people how to respond to us, right? We're informing them on how they should respond to us. And if we're telling people, hey, you know, um, go ahead and treat me like a doormat, they're going to treat you like a doormat. But if you come at it with, hey, I'm interesting and I'm worth knowing, then that'll be great. So I'm looking over at my comments. Hello, Miss Kelly. I see you on here. Your kid eats your food, even your veggies, because you're a good mom. My kids eat my food, even veggies, and that stresses me out. Speaking the affirmations out loud like I am shouting from the mountaintop helps me push it into believing. Excellent, Kelly. I love that. You don't have to whisper an affirmation. There's nothing I said that's like whisper it to yourself. Shouting it like from a mountaintop. Marcia Bench stands up and yells hers with all kinds of energy, and that really works for some people. Now, you don't want to scare someone out of bed in the morning by standing up and screaming at the top of your lungs, getting out of bed in the morning. But you know what, Kelly? You're right. When you're out on a walk and you're doing something, yelling it to the mountaintop really helps it get into your heart. That's true. So keeping it on hand is a good thing to do. Print it out on a post-it note. Put it, I have some that are up in my kitchen where I'm, doing dishes or where I'm, the regular things that I do. I have some on my vanity mirror about beauty. I have some in the bathroom about my dedication to my health. It's up on the mirror, so when I'm brushing my teeth, and there, you find those ones that work for you. The other thing that I found, and these are all over Amazon and any bookstore, if you still have a bookstore in your world that Amazon has not closed, there are these cards that you can get, all different brands of these cards, and I get some for women. I get health ones and ones about self-image, etc. And I pick one out in the morning. And the one I had this morning was, I have abundance in all areas of my life. And it's such a simple statement, but it doesn't say I'm going to, or someday I might, or it doesn't say I'm going to give up a lack of abundance. It's a positive statement in the here and now that says I have abundance in all areas of my life. And it's a wonderful positive feeling to have when that's going. It's really a good thing to do. So I pick these out in the morning, and sometimes I let fate choose them for me and I just pick one. Other mornings, if I have something specifically that I'm wanting to have done, and, I have autoimmune disease. Some mornings I wake up and I can't move for a while, or I have a fever like I did this morning. And it's just, I'm looking for something to help me get my bum out of bed, get going. So I'm wonderful. I rejoice in the truth of my being. I accept it as so, and I let it be. So these things just fill me with self-love and compassion, and that reflects in how I treat other people in the world and other people in my life. It is contagious. So if you're short on, like, don't know the naming conventions, or you don't want to write your own, or they don't really work the same way, these can surprise you. These are wonderfully written. And so they come in little box sets. You keep one by the side of your bed or wherever it is you want to have them, on your desk at the office, and hold on to the ones that mean something to you. And you know what? I went back a few years after I had these, and I'd put aside all the ones that didn't talk to me. And I'd been using the same ones for a while. And at a different point in your life, it's like going back to your favorite movie. Did you ever go back to your favorite movie like 20 years later? Like, I saw Annie Hall 20 years after I'd seen it the first time, and it meant something completely different than the high school girl that saw it, Annie Hall, at my senior year of high school, when I was finally old enough to go to the movie. I was finally 17. And that meant something different than the person who was married with kids and was dating after a divorce. And I was out in the world and I was one of those people in the movie. It meant something completely different. Did you ever have that experience? But that's the same way with affirmations. I opened that box and I'm like, wow, these are amazing. Why didn't I like these before? It's because they didn't speak to me and what my truth was at that moment. But like I said, you can also find them online if you want to have them pop up. There's all kinds of apps that will bing you in the middle of the day and remind you to read them. You can share them online and post them if you have any in the group. If there's any that you have either in the client group or in our Optimal Health Reboot group, go ahead and post. If you find one you love, please post it. Please let us know what it is. I am always on the hunt for more wonderful affirmations that I can use. And you never know who it's going to talk to and who it's going to help speak to somebody. So, me, like I said, it's every morning that I use them. So now we're going to come to how to write an affirmation. Not rocket science, but there is a formula for how to do that, and it's easy to do. So get out your piece of paper and your pen. If you're watching this on replay, pause this for a moment and go get your pen and your piece of paper. We're going to write these together. Okay, so ready, pause. We're still here. So we're back. We're going to be writing our affirmations here. And you have your piece of paper and your pen out. And so think of it in there are 3 lines on the paper. Right in the middle of the paper, I want you to write a word that's inspirational for you or something that's on your mind that is your focus word. Something you want to work on, something that you want to bring into your life, or something you want to enforce as a part of yourself, or that brings you calm. Words might be hope, self-love, compassion, abundance, wellness, health. See what I mean? These are aspirational things that resonate with you as something that's you're aspiring to or something that you want to reinforce in your life that you already have. Okay, so there's that inspirational word. You all have it? Okay, so the next level down, below that, I want you to write the present tense of where you want this thing to happen. And what I mean for that would be like in my life, in my heart, in all areas of my existence, with my family, at work. So wherever people usually do in my life or in all aspects of my life or in my heart or in my spirit or in my soul. So write where you want that to resonate. So there's your aspirational word or words, right? Below that is the present tense where you want it to be in, well, I guess that there's not a tense to something without a verb, but I'm saying it's the place where it's going to be, right? So that in aspiration is going to be somewhere. And above all of that, that's where I want you to put the present tense I statement. So it's something that shows possession. So you're possessing this thing. For example, I have, I welcome, I embrace, I am grateful for. So grateful is always a powerful word to use because it implies that it's something you're welcoming in joyfully and that you appreciate. So it says a lot in just that one word. Words are very powerful. So grateful if it fits, if it's something that you're talking about it like it already exists in your life. It's not I will or I'm going to, and it's not a negative, right? So I don't have debt versus I have financial freedom. See the difference? All right, so you've pulled one together, and I want you to post after watching this video. I want you to post at the end and put down there what your inspiration is that you wrote. And I will be choosing a winning inspiration from those inspirations and those affirmations that you put in there. All right, you can do as many times as you want to, as many, but they're ones that you have written that resonate with you. Write your affirmation that inspires you into the comments, and I'll be choosing one person as a winner, and that person will receive a box of affirmation cards sent to you. So good luck. I can't wait to see what you ladies come up with. This is so exciting. So the contest for writing your affirmations is going to be over on the 13th at midnight Pacific time. So that would be what, 3 in the morning the next day, but midnight Pacific time on Thursday, the 13th of May is going to be the end of the contest. But if it's after that date that you're watching this video, please go ahead and put your affirmations in anyway. I love to see them. I'd love to use them. in my own life and might be helping some other person who sees that that resonates for them too. Excuse me. So thank you very much for joining me today on Tuesday Talks on Reboot TV. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Goodbye.